Hello, beautiful strangers, and welcome back to another episode of Sakura no Mori Dreamers. When last we left off, we were chased. We fell off a bridge. No, it wasn't really a bridge. That was a narrow mountain road. And, well, we also got a little bit of interesting information about Madoka. But MC-kun doesn't know that yet, unfortunately for him. That's going to be a real kick in the pants whenever he learns about that, I'm sure. I know it would be for me. In other news, when I load this save to load to this scene where I left off last time, it takes about 20 seconds to load in. I actually thought it crashed the first time it happened because it's just a black screen and nothing else. And that's odd. I'm hopeful that nothing else will happen. This game or visual novel or whatever is odd at times, and I'm not sure why. I have only ever had a visual novel crash on me once, well, a few times technically, but it was the same visual novel for the same reason. And that was because it needed a patch to use, I recognize the integrated graphics card on an old laptop that I used to read in bed. But once it was patched, it was fine and never crashed. So that would be interesting. This would be the first visual novel I've ever had crash on me out of nowhere, if this did crash. But that was very, very concerning. And it's repeatable. It does it every time I load the save. I did it multiple times. So yeah, this could be interesting. But let's just get back into it, shall we? I'm home. Hello. Welcome back. What? It's nothing. Shinji came to pick me up from school today. From school? Why? It just felt like it. Hatsune didn't seem to have noticed the awkward mood and headed to the bathroom to wash her hands. I'll go back to my room. Others view. Didn't you feel Shinji was acting a bit strange today? Yeah, I thought so too a little. Miyako nodded to herself. Did something happen? Not really. Well, I suppose after what happened yesterday and considering that hit on his head. That didn't really answer much, but Miyako sounded more like she was trying to convince herself rather than address her daughter. I nodded, barely listening to what she was saying. I kept looking around behind her back instead. It wasn't like I wanted to peek into my childhood friend's room. I was worried about the monsters. If these things really were shadows, then that meant they could also appear and disappear out of nowhere. I couldn't just relax because we were at home. Shinji, are you listening to me? I'm sorry. I thought she'd be angry, but instead she gave me a worried look. Are you sure you're okay? You're not acting like yourself today. Maybe it's because I hit my head. Technically, it wasn't a lie. Didn't the doctor say you were okay, though? They did, but... No, it's not like I've got a headache or anything. It's more like I'm spacing out a bit more than usual. Which sounds a bit like the symptoms of a concussion, but, you know, you'd hope they would have tested to see if you had a concussion, but who fucking knows? I don't know what they do with that sort of things. I don't know what test they would have run, but you'd hope, because concussions are bad. That sounds like it could be something serious. I'm sure it'll get better by itself. Maybe you should go to a bigger hospital? I shook my head. My condition was most likely beyond fixing, but I could probably get used to it with time. Anyway, I think you should at least go to bed early tonight. I guess I'll do that. Good night. Good night. Come to think of it, Madoka said she wanted to tell me something, but never did. Well, whatever. Normally, I'd call her to come outside again, but I felt too tired today. I looked all over my surroundings as I walked to school the next day. Normally, the three of us would chat about random things on our way to school today. But today, I wasn't listening. I couldn't focus in school, and the anxiety remained with me even when I hung out with my friends afterwards. The next day was the same. And the next. I finally heard a rumor about myself as the week advanced midway. People are talking about me? Yeah, lately you keep looking everywhere like you're scared of something all the time. People are saying you might have gotten into some sort of serious trouble or whatever. Sabe was probably trying to warn me as a friend. I see. I'll try to be more careful. That'd probably be good. What are your plans today? Wrong person. What are your plans today? I think I'll go straight home. Okay. Others' view. Shinji was acting strange ever since that accident. It felt like his mind was always elsewhere, even when he spoke to Madoka. And it didn't seem like mere absent-mindedness. He appeared way too tense for that, like he was concerned or like he was cornered by something. Like there was something heavy on his mind. Madoka had no idea what it could have been, and he didn't show any hint of wanting to tell her either. That frustrated her. They were childhood friends. She wanted to indignantly say that to his face. But what kind of connection is childhood friends anyway? This doubt always made her hesitate, stripping her of her determination. And now she too barely listened to class, gazed out the window. Seeing Shinji like that made her anxious. It was almost like he was going somewhere far away. The thought made Madoka smile in her mind. It was she who was going far away, not him. I told Sabe I'd be going straight home, but I ended up going to the park instead. I hadn't seen another monster since that day. On top of what Sabe told me, it was probably a good idea to relax a little. It became harder and harder to keep this secret all to myself. I wanted to confide in someone, but I couldn't. Madoka and Hatsune couldn't see the shadows. Probably no one beside me could, and that made me feel all alone in the world. There was no way anyone would believe me anyway. Best case scenario, it'd just take me to the hospital. Wait. There actually was someone who'd listen to my crazy stories seriously. It's in. Come in. It's open. I forgot what voice I gave you. It's been a while since we've seen you. Hide, what are you doing? Just a back hip circle. Don't you mean hanging upside down? Why would you do that in front of potential customers? Any sane person would run away as soon as they saw you. It's okay. You don't get customers here anyway. I felt I could use more blood to the brain. Huh? She keeps getting angry at me, so I thought maybe this could improve my circulation and I'd mess up less. I wanted to talk to you about something. I mean, that will put a bit more blood in his head. You don't really want blood on your brain. That's bad. You don't want blood past the blood-brain barrier. But, you know, you can pass out doing that. Yeah, that'll help with that. Coming unconscious. I think you can die doing that eventually, but I'm not sure what the cause is or how long. I don't know anything about that. I just know it's bad for you hanging upside down for too long. I looked around the room. but that grumpy old man of a chief seemed to be absent at the moment. Talk to me? Okay. Then go ahead and sit over there. Hide pointed to the sofa with his eyes. God, I do not remember what voice I gave you. Oh well. I can't take it easy when you're upside down. I think I'm stuck. I'll help you down. No, it's okay. Up. He fell on his head. It seemed like it hurt, but Hide took a seat on the sofa like nothing happened. What is it? Remember how I said I could see weird shadows before? Yeah, I made sure to keep that in my memory. I told him about the accident the other day and what happened to me afterwards. Wow, really? It's incredible. What's so incredible about it? I mean, isn't it amazing? You can see things no one else can. You actually believe me? Of course. But it could just be a hallucination or something. I doubt that. But do you have any reason to suspect that? Not really, but I did hit my head, so... The human skull is quite robust. You won't just start seeing monsters because you banged it once or twice. I know a little bit too much about CTE to, accept that as an answer to anything. I think the monsters you're seeing are more like apparitions. Monster was just the first word that came to my mind when I saw the thing. You really think that was an apparition? Or apparition? Yeah, most likely the kind that possesses and murders people. You're a hero after all, Shinji. I knew you had the aptitude. Hide nodded to himself. He once said something along those lines before. Hold on just a moment. I need to readjust my headphones. And we're back. Okay. I can't quite seem to get my headphones to sit 100% comfortably. Hopefully that's not an issue. Oh, hopefully I'm not getting a tension headache, actually. I would prefer not to be getting another one of those. I don't like having tension headaches, even though I get them frequently. Well, I get headaches frequently. I don't get tension headaches frequently, necessarily. Anyway, Hide nodded to himself. He once said something along those lines before. Just what do you think a kid like me can do? I tried playing along with him. Well, heroes are there to punish the wicked, aren't they? I don't think I'm that, then. Do you have time now? Huh? I guess I do, but why? Let's go out for a bit. Where? What for? Anywhere would do. I want to see where those apparitions hang out, too. I'm not sure if it'll work, though. I haven't seen them since that night. It's fine if nothing comes out of it. Hide stood up without waiting for a reply. I'm fine with that. What about you? Don't you need to work? Not really. I was basically here because there was nothing to do. Okay then, I guess. Hey, I'm back. Huh? Hide? Bonehead. Told him to look after the place, and he wanders off again. Why'd I even pick up that stray anyway? It's not like I'm in a guise or anything. Hide pulled out a bicycle that apparently belonged to the detective agency, and we rode it together. I feel it'd be less trouble if we just walked. Really? Well, it might not feel like that to you with the way you're just sitting there, but the chain's not oiled properly and these tires need more air. Perhaps that didn't bother people that weren't into cycling. We wobbled through the town at a snail's pace. That said, I felt better knowing there was someone I could talk to. But then again, I also couldn't quite keep up with his hero stories. His wild suggestion that I was one confused me. All I could do was see abnormal things, which might as well have been hallucinations. I guess I can't find any after all. But it might be better this way, especially if they're really apparitions, like you said. Yeah. Want to go back? I'd probably better do that. She might be angry if I'm too late. Eh? Oof. Uh-huh. Didn't you say you didn't have work today? Well, I think he asked me to look after the place or something. I turned back to him with an exasperated look on my face. Are you kidding? Hmm? It's there. Huh? Hide turned around in an unusually flustered fashion. Where? I nudged my chin in the direction of the monster, but Hide only cocked his head. I can't see it. It looked like the thing was observing us. Though it didn't really have eyes or a nose, just shapes vaguely reminiscent of them. As such, I couldn't quite tell if it actually saw us or could even see in the first place. What do you want to do? Let's follow it. Eh? I considered Hide's expression. We're gonna lose it if you don't keep your eyes on it. I can't see it. Don't you think that'd be dangerous? A hero can't show any fear in the face of adversity. I'm not a hero. Never was. Never will be. Is that Metal Gear Solid... Was it 1? Right? 1 or is that 4? I actually don't remember. God, I've been in like Metal Gear Solid on the brain and I haven't even played it in at least a year or two, at minimum. I think the last time I played it was when I got the... was it the Tsukiyomi trophy? By shooting all the Keratins in 3. That was the last time I played a Metal Gear Solid game. And it had been at least a year or two before that since I played any others, so yeah. It's been a while. The monster moved as we talked. I reflexively followed it. It kept disappearing and reappearing nearby. It reminded me of an old fluorescent lamp blinking on and off at the end of its lifespan. Or maybe it was just messing with me. Though it was hard to imagine that thing displaying such human-like will. We ended up at the shore after desperately following it for a few minutes. Is it still there? Yeah, it is. It disappeared again. I stopped the bicycle to catch my breath. I waited for a while, but it didn't reappear this time. Did it disappear completely? I pressed down on the pedals and headed to the location I saw it last. Huh? Eh? That person. Hide pointed at a man walking in the distance. Is there something wrong with him? He's carrying a kitchen knife, and he doesn't look like a chef. Hide's tone sounded uncharacteristically serious. I had a bad feeling about this. Let's go. Okay. I laid down the bicycle on the ground and we rushed to the alleyway the chef appeared from. Huh. That seems bad. That seems bad. I hurriedly looked away. I had seen more than enough of this already. That person's dead, aren't they? Yeah, I think so. There's a whole puddle of blood under them. Even the laid-back Hide seemed to have been shocked by the sight. You think it was the man with the knife earlier? It seems like there's a killer in this town. Killer? This isn't the first body I've seen. I hadn't told you yet, but I discovered a body a few days ago. Technically, I discovered the body of that poor woman that got run over too, but the culprit of that had already been caught. Besides, I think he chased me some time back. Oh? What should we do now? You think we should investigate the body? I'm not doing that. Then what should we... You can decide. You're the adult here. Then let's investigate the body. I'm calling 110. What? I thought 119 was the... I'm confused. Yeah, whatever. The police barely took a few minutes to show up. We spent that time just standing in the alley where the body was at. I heard you discovered a body? Oh. The policeman gave Hide an odd look. Aren't you... Eh? The officer shrugged. Anyway, is the body in there? Yes. The policeman peeked his head into the dark alley and then disappeared into it. Then he returned seemingly furious. There's nothing there. What? I hurriedly peeked my head into the alleyway. It's gone. We kept our distance as we waited since we didn't want to be around a dead body. Not even 10 minutes had passed, yet the body just up and disappeared. It really was there just moments ago. We're not lying. Ignoring me, the policeman glared at Hide with a threatening expression. You should stop mocking the police, kid. I'm sorry. Hide remained kind of laid back with the angry officer. You'll be caught again sooner or later, and this time you'll go straight to prison. You too should be more careful with who you hang out with. You'll get in trouble if you try to prank the police again. That's not what we were... With his leather boots furiously clicking against the pavement, the officer returned to his car. The engine roared to life a little more vigorously than it probably needed to, and the vehicle quickly disappeared into the distance. Did something happen between you two before? Not really, but I've been shoplifting and running away without paying in this area for a while, so they kind of remember me. You did see that, didn't you, Hide? I did. That wasn't an hallucination. I may be stupid, but I know what I saw. You think that person could have still been alive? I doubt it. Though I only had a quick glimpse, the victim seemed to have been lying in a pool of their own blood. Could a person get back up and walk away with the wound like that? This alley is kind of weird to me. I guess it's just the angle, I guess. And there was another thing that didn't make sense. Even if I bought the idea of a corpse or a heavily wounded person disappearing, there were no traces of it left. The policeman probably would have believed us if he'd seen some blood, but that had been gone too. I wasn't just hallucinating, was I? I tried remembering exactly how it looked. How lovely. It was a middle-aged woman. She was leaning against the wall, covered in blood. I think the guy carrying the knife earlier killed her. Yeah. But it's probably useless trying to convince the police. Yeah. We can't possibly allow a killer to wander around in our town. It's all right, Shinji. Eh? His tone carried an odd sense of conviction, so I turned to him. We've got heroes in Sakura no Mori now. They'll take care of all these evildoers. And you're one of them now. Hide, this is reality we're talking about. But I couldn't think of anyone else or anything else. I had no idea what to do anymore. I returned to the bicycle. Let's go back. Okay. We chased an apparition and found a corpse instead. As I suspected, these things were bad news. Monsters, corpses. I felt like I had slowly descended into some mad world. None of this was my responsibility, but I couldn't turn a blind eye to it either. See you later. Yeah, bye-bye. I'll return the bicycle to where we picked it up from. I heard shouting from the second floor window as I came back from the underground bicycle parking lot. They have those? That sounds interesting. You finally managed to find a job. I shouldn't make him waste his time with me. I'd feel awful if he got fired because of me. And I was also worried about the police. We managed to get off easy this time, but I doubt they'd take us lightly if something like this happened again. And I think this is where I'm going to end off this episode. So next time, I guess we'll possibly maybe find out how we're going to tell this to Madoka and how that conversation is going to go. And, well, who are these heroes that Hide keeps mentioning? Find out the answer to, well, some of that next time. And I hope to see you all there.